Closure before I start doing the midday call. It is 12:04. It is Monday. Let's get right to it. What's up, everyone? My name is Scott Ruther, Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. It is midday. For those of you who aren't part of Ruther All Access, I do a morning call every day, somewhere around 8:30, to go over the charts, to go over the levels, to go over the buzzwords, to basically tell you everything that I've been looking at since 4:45 in the morning. I roll it out into a product, so I give you guys actionable thoughts on how to approach today. So today, my thoughts were, okay, you know what? We had two big days last week. We had Thursday, we had Friday, the awesome Red Dog Reversal Thursday, great follow through Friday, powerful, definitely more than what the Bears would have wanted. You know, sometimes you get a feeble bounce. It gives the Bears a little bit of conviction to sell fast, and sometimes you get a little bit of penetration. And then on Friday, we had the jobs number, kind of in line. The street and the markets were worried about recession, not really worried about a Goldilocks slowdown. So today, futures were like down 15 when I woke up this morning. I was like, 445, down 15. Everyone was kind of complaining on Twitter. I'm like, what are you guys complaining about? We had such a big 2-day move. Why would anyone been so heavy into the weekend? So by having a down open, at least, you feel like you're getting better prices. By the time I was done with the morning call, we were only down like 6 or 7 handles. So I have a term what I call special, or an active sequence. Active sequences start at different times because we're in this range, and we have a hard time finding breakouts and a hard time finding things that you could buy high and sell higher. We talk about these active sequences, short or long, or periods of being flat, or sometimes when things are trending well above the 821 day moving average. I'm in some kind of portfolio approach with a bunch of names, but a bunch of names have to be acting well, and we haven't had that for a while. So today I was saying, and I posted also on the public Twitter spheres, can we hold Friday's low? Can we hold Friday's low and get commitment? What do I mean by commitment? I mean supporting the action from Thursday, Friday to keep the active sequence alive. What's an active sequence? It's a series of candles that make it easy to stay with versus misdirection and versus choppiness and versus volatility. What do I mean again by that? Well, let's go to the chart of the spiders. Okay, if you remember, here was your red dog reversal. That was your get out of dodge. This started an active sequence to the downside. Okay, what did it do? It broke below a prior low, giving it power. Broke below all these lows, giving it more power. And then what happened? You had downside on Thursday. So a 2-day active sequence. Okay, if I was a bear or short, which I actually was short into this day, not into Thursday, the different active sequence started when this happened. What happened here? We wound up taking out, okay, it flushed a lot of people through this intermediate trend, right? This is an intermediate trend. A lot of people put stops here, flushed them out. Did it get below and stay below? Another term that I use. No. It went below, stopped people out, then reclaimed this pivot. This is your action area right here, right here. This little spot meant the world. The entire world wanted to know what the market was doing. Well, that was the action area to judge it. And that was the spot where I did buy the spies. I posted it to Ruther All Access from the VTF. The VTF watches all my trades live because I am a real trader. I'm not just an educator. I don't just talk about trading on TV. I trade for a living. Watch out for the guys that don't. So anyway, this was your red dog reversal. Friday, this was your jobs report power. Remember, I tweeted like 825. I'm like, anywhere between 125,000, 150,000, spies probably go green. They were down like 90 cents. And then we could probably test the gap. What was the gap? Right here. Well, not only did we test the gap, we filled it. So anyway, that was those 2 days. So we came in today saying, okay, what now? Okay, we had a bunch of volatility, right? The worst 2-day start to the entire, whatever, October. And then we had these 2 days, which proved a little bit more powerful to me. So I was thinking, okay, how impressive are we going to be? Are we going to hold the top half of the candle? Okay, which is retracement rules, which I'm not going to get into now, or will we hold the entire Friday's low, which would have been impressive itself. So what do? We wound up holding right here, which is 292.77. So now for the rest of this week, you could use 292.77, which is right here. As long as we hold here, this active sequence that started with the red dog reversal low is intact. And then if we can go sideways for a while, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it could happen where all of a sudden, come the end of the week and you get some positive China news, blah, 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 blah. This descending trend line that's been intact from this high, that high, that high, all lower highs, maybe we come to an inflection point. Maybe. Okay, but at this point, this today was good enough. Okay, it was nice downside open that you could have bought a lot of different things. Some things went green faster. The stocks that go green, which is another tactic, in a sea of red before the market, they're the ones that have a bit more power. They're the ones who are leading. So to me, my focus was on Apple, which I'll get to. I don't have a lot of time here, actually. It's 9 after 12, but I want to teach you a few things midday as well as give you some things to look at for the afternoon. So for the afternoon, as long as we hold above this, hey, maybe there's a chance that this gets taken out. What is this? This is 264.63. What is this? 264. No, what's this high? 290. No. 294.63. 294.84. So it went through by 20 cents. So push through, but I wouldn't expect it. I don't even want it to get through there yet. I want it to go sideways, digest this, let the moving averages catch up, and then get through it. But what the market wants and what I want are two different things. That's why I had to buy versus a 5 or a 15-minute low, because they didn't even test Friday's lows. But this is looking pretty good. So this is, hopefully this means something to you. If you're a technician, you've been trading for 10, 20 years, this whole thing means something. Every candle should mean something to you. If you don't, you better start educating yourself. So what did the Qs do? The Qs probably showed a little bit more power. Look at that. The Qs held 50% of this candle, which showed commitment, participation to this. Never even got near the gap. So listen, everyone says all gaps are meant to be filled. That's not true. Meaning that if there is a gap that's unfilled, what does that show you? If all gaps are meant to be filled, that means that this gap shows some power for now. And if you don't fill the gap, you tend to go in the direction of the gap because they didn't have enough power to fill it. So this morning, I posted a chart of the Qs, and I said as long as we hold 186.88, the active bulls from the red dog reversal here around 183.02 are in control. And I did buy the Qs there. I bought it, and then I freaking tweeted it to Red All Access. I showed you guys the VTF. It showed me long the IWM, the SPYs, the Qs, and at that point, I think I had Facebook when this happened, even before I took it back. But anyway, now what happened today? Little sideways action, little digestion, and you had an opportunity. Why? Because the Q's open lower. You could have bought it lower versus a 5 or 15-minute low. Went green, sold some, and hold some. And now we'll see, does this go sideways? And then at some point, I don't know, maybe it breaks this little descending trend line. But what I would like now is just a little sideways action. So this low now is important, 187.91. So let's write that in, 187.91. So as long as the Qs hold 187.91, which is today's low, which is a higher low to the gap from Friday, then this active sequence, okay, which all these lower highs, is in control. Red dog reversal buy, little follow through, sell some. Maybe you sold it into the close because you were all worried about what would happen this weekend. Well, you had a down open to buy that held, and now this actually poked a little bit more above Friday's high versus the S&P, so that means tech is still kind of leading the way, which to me is good. I like when tech leads. I actually didn't buy the Qs though today. I bought the IWMs for catch-up. And before going into my meeting, I put a stop, and I'm wondering to see if I'm still on my IWM that I said has to hold Friday's low, which I think in my head was what, 147, and I was playing it to go green. I figured it can get to 150 or 150.50. Where's the IWM now? Got to 149.79. Not really great. I'm still in it. I don't think I got stopped out. But not the best thing, but fine. It's funny. I created another technical term. I always say I want to be in things that are special, that are above the 8 and 21 day, that are trending, that are showing leadership. Recently, in the past 2 months, I've settled with fine. Raise your hand if that's what you've settled with. Well, you can't really settle with it fine that much because one of these times it's going to get you in the tuchus. But this to me was fine. Held above 147.12, pushed above the prior high. The prior high is 149.25. It did give you 149.79, and now it's 149.37. So it's still fine. So it stays fine as long as it holds today's low later. A lot of guys shorted the open. I'm like, why don't you just wait to see what it looks like and feels like before you press it down 50 cents? And those who press it down 50 cents, maybe they covered. into the rally instead of being able to get better prices. But at this point, still in the channel. This is in the bottom end. It's not acting well, so there's still some hope for you bears out there saying, hey, maybe this turns lower, maybe this starts to break the lower end of the channel. That could give some clues, which hasn't really. That some selling can happen. So at this point, it's fine for this, fine for this active sequence. Obviously, the Qs are better considering, look where it is within this range here. Okay, and that's probably a little bit has to do with Apple also, which if you read, you have to read, right? Reading is fundamental. Remember that commercial? Tech will be interesting this week. It did a calculated red dog reversal around the 183.2 pivot. So I'm always trying to rehash to teach. It gapped up Friday. That's the gap. Now we see if it can keep the power by holding 186.88. Did it keep the power by holding it? Yes. Okay. All if this, then that. If that, then this. So if so, perhaps it can give clues that the active bulls in this new active sequence from the red dog reversal Thursday could stay in control. And now this is already a little bit above this, probably because of Apple, and I am still long Apple. Watch Apple. What a quinky dink. To see if it can extend above the 229, 230 for clues if anything could have power, not just range. If this market's going to act better, it needs some things to have a little bit of power. And if anything was going to have power, it was going to be Apple. So let's just get to Apple before I end what's happening here. So Apple, remember this big level here, this 217 level? Well, on Thursday, they used it to manipulate the market down below 217, which it did. They stopped a lot of people out. And then what did it do? It reclaimed 217. So the active buyers took back control. And hopefully, if you got short, you covered. And if you got stopped out, maybe got back in. So anyway, that was what this was very, very, very important. And then you had the gap up on the Nikkei suppliers saying that they wanted more parts. And then what I did is I didn't come in long Apple. I bought Apple pre-market on the VTF. Everybody saw down 50 cents, saying it was the strongest name from Friday. What's my rule? If you're going to think the market's going to hang in there, you buy the strongest stock from the prior day because typically they're the best chance of going green for cash flow. And if there's any power, you could add through a prior high, which was right here, which was 227.49, and it actually even got through here, which is the wrong pivot. This is 228.22. So how high did it get today? Let's take a look. It got as high as 229.42, and it's still hovering here. So buy one in the whole red, buy two goes green, buy three above a prior high, and now you trail it. So I have Apple on, but I have less than I bought pre-market, and I have less than when I added through Friday's high. So that's how you create cash flow around a swing position or around a day and a half position or whatever you want it to be, to net money and then let it go. So for me, it's 12:17. I've already been up since 4:45. I did my morning call. I wrote my note. I updated 14 to 20 charts. Now it's time for me to go to the gym. I have to shave. And then I go on Fox Business at 3:15, and then I come back and trade the close and do my recap. So I do have Apple on. Oh my goodness, how could I leave with a position on? Because I have a stop in the right place. Really what I should do is my stop should be right here. It should be 225.84. But I'm not going to give it to 225.84 because, I don't know, I'm just not giving it that much room. No need for that, even though I only have smaller on. For me, I would say, hey, I am playing this to stay strong, to keep leadership status. So for me, this should not trade back below 227.49. So my stop is 227.20. So I have, about almost $1.50 of room to let it go back and forth before it takes me out of my position while I'm at the gym, shaving, getting ready for Fox Business, and I'm going to let it go. It might make me money and go through 230, and yes, will I miss an ad? I don't care. I had my ad this morning through here. I even added a little bit through there. Okay, so now we'll see what happens next. So again, this is going to be a short midday call. We came in today not knowing if buyers would resurface. They did. They bought higher. Not only did they, protect the top 50% of Friday's candle, it didn't even get near that low. Lots of things went green. You had a lot of red dog reversals and a few of these things, like even Amazon. Amazon was a red dog reversal here. Held. Friday's low, went green. Google, red dog reversal here. Didn't even get close to Friday's low. Went green and actually had a push above this 212, so this was even stronger. So obviously each stock is created a little different depending on technically how rock solid they were. That's why, we make a pecking order, and the video is fantastic. My goodness, look at that. This wedge pattern, when I look at how beautiful, we don't have many patterns out there. This wedge, it was broke on that Thursday, and then Friday what happened, remember we were buying it on the dip, held the top third, and then now look right into this resistance area where it probably needs to pause for a little bit, but this was a nice wedge pattern, showed commitment, acted special. This is actually, you know, a little better than fine, but a little under special because it's still in the bottom end of the range. So with all that being said, I hope everyone's having a good Monday. A lot of people, I think, actually might have even went out a little short because we were extended into the close Friday. So hopefully you had your cover this morning. And if you went flat like I did, it was a great type of scenario where you could have bought a dip, especially if you sold some strength, versus a 5 or 15-minute low above Friday's low. And then you could have even added if some of these things showed some power and took out Friday's high like an apple. All little things you mix together, puts together a good Monday and starts the week in the right direction. I wish you guys the best. And if you're part of Other All Access, I'll see you in the recap. If not, maybe I'll see you tomorrow at this time. Have a good day.